Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back or to get over your ex. This week, I want to answer the question, what if my ex is also doing no contact? Oh no. This is one of the most asked questions in the comments. I see it every week. So I had actually previously done a video where I discussed this, but that was over 4 years ago, and the video is only 3 minutes long. So I figured it's time to revisit this topic. But first, I want to welcome back my beautiful No Contact Army. Have you been a good little soldier or a bad little soldier? And if you've been good, then you have downloaded my app Silencio to help you stay in no contact. The link is underneath every single video and every single podcast. And if you too would like to join our army, we would love to have you. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to read our manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can read 2 free chapters before purchasing the book. Okay, so sometimes when people ask the question of, what if my ex is also doing no contact? What they're really doing is they're looking for permission to break no contact and reach out. And that's because of the stories that you're telling yourself. You're saying, oh, but they're an avoidant, they're not going to reach out. Well, I've done a video on that, and I will put the link in the upper right-hand corner on YouTube. Or you might be saying, oh, well, they're stubborn, they're not going to reach out. I've done a video on that too. I'll put the link up in the right-hand corner. I've pretty much done a video on everything. You just have to look through the videos. So whatever other reason you think that your ex may not reach out, it doesn't matter. If they're the ones who are supposed to reach out, then you have to stay in no contact no matter what. Avoidant exes have come back. Stubborn exes have come back. Okay? So if you broke up with them because they took you for granted or cheated, so even though you were the one who actually said the words, even though you didn't want to, so you pulled the trigger, you pulled the plug and ended the relationship. In essence, they didn't really give you much choice. So they actually initiated the breakup through their actions, and actions have consequences. And when they cheated or started to not prioritize you and the relationship and took you for granted, they actually initiated the breakup through their actions. So your only other choice was to stay in a relationship with someone who cheated on you or took you for granted, and most people are not going to do that. So if that's the case, it's up to them to reach out to you to get you back. So if you were listening to this and you were broken up with because you cheated or you took your ex for granted, then you should not be in no contact. Now, as I've said before, you need to give your ex at least 30 days of space if you did either of those two things, because no one is going to take you back right away when they break up with you. Even though if they want to, they still have their pride and their ego and their hurt feelings. So give them some space and then reach out. And of course, I've done videos on that, and I will put one of the links in the upper right-hand corner here about how to get them back if you took them for granted. And by the way, before I go further, if you're finding this video helpful so far, then please give it a like. That way, other people who are also going through a painful time of a breakup will be able to find it just like you did. Thank you. And if you're not sure if you took your ex for granted, I would suggest you do a coaching session with me, because sometimes I've had clients who they thought that they took their ex for granted and they wanted to reach out, and it turned out that they didn't. And then other times they were in no contact. They're like, well, I'm not reaching out. And I go, well, you took your ex for granted, so you need to reach out. So if you're not sure, then it's best to be sure. Otherwise, you may be sitting around doing no contact when you shouldn't be, or you may be reaching out when you shouldn't be. Now, also you need to ask yourself, how do you know they're doing no contact? Just because you haven't heard from them. You're just assuming that they're doing no contact. Well, maybe you haven't waited long enough. Like I said, most people will reach out within 60 days. But some, they wait longer. So don't just assume that they're doing no contact. Or they may know that they should contact you, but they're still trying to get you to reach out. And so they're going to try and wait and see if you reach out, even though they know that they should be reaching out. So if you're both in no contact and your ex should be reaching out but refuses to for whatever reason, then obviously it means that you'll never talk again unless you break no contact, which you shouldn't, unless you run into each other. So that's one thing that you can do. If you see that they are not reaching out, you can try to arrange a run-in. But I can't think of a single client who never heard from their ex at some point. So don't worry, even if you think your ex is doing no contact, or even if they are, if you stay the course and don't give up, then there's a very good chance that they will eventually contact you, especially if you use some of the tricks that I've talked about in my other videos, such as the 2-drink trick. You pull the jealousy card, or other things we have, the manifest a text from your ex, remote seduction. Listen, there's lots of things you can do to bring them out of no contact if they're in it, and they shouldn't be. Okay? So I want to hear from you. Are you sure that you are supposed to be in no contact? And how do you know? And if you would like my help to get your ex back, or to determine whether you should even be in no contact, you can contact me at theartoflove.net and we will send you the rates. We respond to all emails within 24 hours. And if you don't hear from us and you've checked all your spam folders, then contact us again from another email, because it means that your email provider is blocking us. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.